Welcome back. Actually, no. Welcome to the first official episode of the A Player Podcast. With me today is my cousin Kevin. Kevin, how are you today, sir?
Doing great, man.
Good.
We're going to give this another shot. We tried it last time. We didn't like it.
Nope. But we are here to do it right this time.
That's what's up. We're
So-
doing it right this time.
A Player, something new, something maybe a lot of people haven't heard of. Do you want to explain more what A Player is?
Yeah, so A Player is going to be a coaching training program specifically designed more for young adults. I mean, you don't have to be a young adult. You don't have to be one, but it's going to be leadership training for young adults that want to become exceptional in their own way in their life. And so, as you can see right here, well, actually you can't see it, but the parent company is called I Am a Comeback. It's a company that I helped my friends start. We started in 2016, and it was predominantly focused around helping businessmen with drinking issues. But now we want to expand. We want to grow out of just that niche and that market, and we want to expand and help more people. And one of the ideas that I came up with to my friend was, hey, I feel like I'm ready to start coaching and leading young men. So let's start this branch. And that's when I came to you and I was like, yo, A Player is this idea that I've had. And a lot of people seem to really like the idea. So we're going to run with it.
Yeah. So why now? Why start now?
Yeah, so I've had this idea for a while. Actually, I had another idea that was very similar. It was called Latinopreneur.
I have the shirt.
I think you might remember that. And I was 26, 27 when I had that idea. I was excited about the idea, but part of me felt like I just wasn't ready. Like I still needed more to grow. And even though I had learned a lot of things at that time in my life, I didn't have the confidence to say, oh, I'm ready to go teach other people now. And I think that's very common. When we learn something that really helps us, we want to share it right away, right? Do you ever feel that?
Yeah.
Like when you learn maybe something, like you read David Goggins' book or something, you're like, this shit is so cool. I want to share it with everybody that I love.
Yeah.
That's natural. That's a natural instinct or natural desire to want to do that. And at that time, I felt that way, and which is I wanted to share all these things I learned, but I just didn't feel ready. Why now? I think I'm stepping into that age. I'm about to be 34 this year, where I've achieved enough things. I have enough proof, and I have enough evidence to finally say to an 18-year-old kid, to a 20-year-old kid, even to a 40-year-old guy who maybe didn't go in the right direction he wanted in his life, I have the confidence now to say, hey, this is why you didn't get what you wanted. Because you're I don't mind swearing, you're fucking up here, here, and here. And here's what I did. And look, I'm not saying I'm perfect or that I have all the answers figured out, but I would say for the most part, I live a pretty healthy, successful life. And then we'll talk about what success means in a little bit. But I finally have, that's why. I'm going on a long-winded answer here, but I'm finally ready to tell someone. I can finally look at someone and say, this is why, bro. You fucked up here, here, and here, and this is what you need to do to change. And then on top of that, when I brought it up to you and you're like, yo, I'm on board with that, it kind of gave me an extra reason to go all in on it. Versus before, it was just my own idea by myself. I didn't really have like a support, and I didn't really have an incentive to do it, to be honest. Besides thinking it's a good idea, I needed a little more, which...
Like the push to start?
Yes, a push to start, but also accountability. And I might go on a tangent here, because this is actually one of the principles of the program, but you can accomplish a lot more when you're part of a team, when there's someone, like when there's more people holding you accountable.
Yeah.
So now that it's two people, it's like, well, I don't want to let you down. You don't want to let me down. We don't want to let Mark down. Now there's 3 people in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the chances of it becoming successful are much higher now because
We hold each other accountable.
we're all holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
And 3 different people want to see it succeed. And if I slack, you're gonna know. If you slack, I'm gonna know. If we slack, Mark's gonna know. And it's like, yo, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, well, I don't have anything to say about that.
no, well, okay, no, that's good. So what about it appealed to you that you're like, yo, I want to do this, or I want to be part of it, I want to help you with it?
Because I thought it was awesome that you were starting another company and that you wanted me, an 18-year-old who I've told you this 1,000 times. I'm straight out of high school. I'm about to go to, I'm in college now, and I don't really have any like business experience. I don't even have any coaching experience, but I would love to help people, especially like my age,
Yeah.
have like a similar mindset to me, and to go and achieve like these goals, because that's how I live my life, and I would love to see other people my age, especially my brother, to push and achieve the goals that you guys want to achieve.
Yeah. So the reason I believe in you, yes, you don't have business experience. Yes, you don't have coaching experience. Yes, you're only 18. But the reason I believe in you is because you're already cultivating the skills required to be successful where you want to go. You told me you wanted to start a podcast.
Yep.
This was like maybe half a year ago.
Something
like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And I don't know if it was because of something that I told you, but I was like, yo, do this, go do this. And then it took you a little bit, but then you went and you did it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fuck yeah, he's serious about it.
Yeah.
And then you started doing it, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
You started
Now look where I am.
You started a podcast, and you're interviewing people, and you're doing the thing, like you're just doing the thing, man.
Yeah.
That's the it's so simple. Like you're just doing the thing,
Yeah.
right? Like you're fucking doing the thing. So to me, that was admirable, and I'm inspired by you. And the reason I was like, well, let me bring Andre on is because you're doing it. You're already started a podcast. We're gonna be doing a podcast. We need to be doing a podcast because that's how we're gonna get the content out. That's how we're gonna get the brand out. So to me, that is valuable.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that makes more sense than to go and like find a 30-year-old that might have more business experience, but he's not driven. He doesn't want to be on a podcast. As you know, getting in front of camera is a different skill.
Mm-hmm.
At first, you're like all squirrely and nervous.
Yeah.
You know, it can be nerve-wracking. It does. You have to like develop your skill. So, I think by the time you're 25, dude, you're not even gonna recognize yourself. You're gonna be such a different man. And I'm excited to see you grow, and your growth is going to inspire me to grow, and our growth is going to inspire Mark to grow, and our growth is going to cause the brand to grow. So it's a perfect combination of all these things where we're all like-minded people just wanting to grow.
Yeah.
And not only are we going to make the people that become our clients better, we're going to make ourselves better, and hopefully the people we love also want to become better. So it's just a domino effect of, cause and effect. One thing affects another, and affects another, affects another.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you want to be part of this.
I'm glad that you thought of me to be on it.
Well, I mean, I thought of you, but okay, so I think as the program develops and as we coach and we start building, there are certain things that you did that are going to be a perfect lesson for the young kids.
For the people that we are helping.
Yeah, because you think I just thought of you, but what you didn't realize is that you put yourself in front of me to notice you, whether you realized it or not. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Because you would ask me questions. You would be involved. You would be interested. You would be interested in like what I was learning.
Mm-hmm.
You would be interested in what I was doing. You would ask me questions. And by doing that, I'm like, oh, you're getting my attention. I don't know if you did it on purpose.
No, I mean, well, I did want to ask you questions and all of that stuff, but I didn't, like, there wasn't, like, a bigger reason to that.
So that's my point. But that's one of the lessons in the program. Like, when you're a young kid, not you, but anyone who wants to be successful in life, one of the things is to be curious about people, engage with people, make yourself known. Like, you made yourself known to me. Like, I know we're family, so that kind of helps, but not also because there's other people in our family that I also care about, that are about your age, but they don't ask
the same questions I do.
They didn't make themselves known, right? They didn't like approach me like, yo, Kevin, like, you know, this and that and fitness and business and what. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So you took initiative, which is one of the lessons. Again, all these things we're gonna be talking about, you're already doing some of them, but you might not be aware because you're young. You're just doing them naturally. But someone out there, a kid right now, is not thinking, oh, I should take initiative. Oh, I should ask my cousin Joe how he started his whatever boat rental business.
Yeah.
Or he's not thinking, oh, maybe I should go ask my cousin Joe if I could work for him and like film content for, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So it's taking initiative, which is one thing you did, and that's why you're here, and that's why we're gonna grow this brand, and we're gonna help people, and we're gonna make a lot of money and change our lives, their lives, our families' lives. So that's my rant.
So let's go more into like our market problem and what we're trying to do to help that. So our market problem obviously is a younger audience like me, maybe younger, and obviously older, like we said before. Is it, what was I going to ask?
I know what you're going to ask, but I think I'm going to reverse it on you. What do you think the market problem is from your age group? Or what you wanted? Or what do you want at this age?
What do I want at this age?
Like, in a sense, you're also like a student of our own product. Like, because you're still learning.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think the market problem is?
Is that there's not enough kids, teenagers or whatever, like taking initiative of their lives.
Yeah, I would say that's a big one.
That they're just kind of, and I think I said this before, and like when we first shot it, like they're just kind of going with the flow, kind of like just whatever happens, kind of happens. And sometimes that has to do with their faith, but I don't know, I don't know. But I think that a lot of people lack that like initiative to go and change their lives for the better.
What do you think that is right now?
Social media, definitely, like Instagram. We love to scroll and waste our time instead of doing something that can help us in the long run.
Yeah.
And so every time, like I find myself scrolling on Instagram, I'm like, God, like I gotta go do something else. I'm always trying to be productive in something. And so when I'm not, I feel like I'm just wasting my time. And so by A Player, when instead of like people scrolling on their phones, they could be on A Player or like watching this episode or being on the app, which we're about to talk about, to just be part of something like the community thing that that you said, and just like not be like everybody else that just scrolls on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's.
I don't know if I got my message. Like,
no, I mean, no, you're doing fine, man. You know, like that's a lesson for everyone. One of the things that we're gonna do with the brand is be super authentic as well and transparent. Like, you're going to develop this skill set of being able to be on camera. Sometimes I still get nervous, right? Like, like it's not an easy thing because, anyway, we'll go on a tangent. But so you did good, man. And what I heard was, and yes, social media is a newer phenomenon. Like it came out maybe 10, 12 years ago. You were still like 4 when social media came out. I was probably in my 20s. And actually in 2009 was when I got Facebook. So I was 19. So at first it was this cool thing you kind of would get on occasionally, right? And then it became this thing where you're on it all the time and you're scrolling, always consuming content. That is a massive problem in today's culture because you waste your time when you could be using it to something productive.
I just feel like a lot of people don't know when to stop, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, part of the reason is because the companies that made these apps want you to be on it because that's how they make money.
Yeah.
That's the one problem. The second problem is that because you're always engaging new content, you get what's called a dopamine rush or a dopamine hit. Your brain gets these reward chemicals and you're like, oh, this feels good. That's why you go to another video. Like that's why you watch funny videos or motivational videos, right? Because it feels good. So think about this. Why would you want to stop something that feels good?
I wouldn't
Exactly.
want to.
So that's why it's hard to stop it.
Yeah.
Now, I've been...
Oh, and that's like, I feel, wait, before you go on, I think that a lot of people don't know what delayed gratification is. And that's also a big problem that maybe teenagers experience, not knowing what delayed gratification feels like, or even like knowing about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so great point. Delayed gratification. Instagram and social media apps give you instant gratification. Mm-hmm. So you get used to like getting things quick right away, bam, bam, feels good.
Yeah.
Delayed gratification is when you have to put in the work into something and then get the results later.
Yeah.
So that's a big lesson or a big principle of learning to be successful in anything, because you do have to delay gratification, and that's missing nowadays, right? People, this happens.
People want everything.
Yeah, and especially kids your age group, and I see it all the time with family. You know, my nephew, our cousins, and being on the phone and the games and all that. Just they're so addicted to it that they don't recognize right now the repercussions they're going to have when they're 18, 20, 21, my age. You know, these are serious problems that they need a solution, you know. And I've had issues with social media overuse. Like me in my 30s, I was like, I've had problems with the consumption of it, where it was taking more from my life than giving me. Mm-hmm. You know, I would find myself, oh, it's just 10 minutes.
But 10 minutes turns into a half an hour.
Oh, it's just 20 minutes. Oh, I'll stop at 1:30. You know, I give myself these deadlines. Like, I'll stop at 1:30. I'll stop at 2:00. And then before you know it, you wasted 15, 20 hours a week on social media. And not only was I not as productive, not only did I maybe not do something I was supposed to do, maybe I didn't train as good in my singing, maybe I didn't get as much work done as I could have, and it starts affecting my life negatively. So if this is happening to me, that I'm aware, how is it affecting someone who's not aware? And so
that's dangerous, man.
So I had to do things to limit my social media use. Anyway, it's a serious problem, and I think there's lack of positive male role models, because the parents are also falling into destructive habits. Like, how is a dad going to tell his son, hey, don't use social media, go outside and play, when the dad is also overusing social media? Mm-hmm. It doesn't. The kid's gonna be like, oh, fuck you. like, okay, dad, You know?
If you say so.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like being told to carry out a certain thing if the person telling you isn't.
Well, I would hope that that doesn't happen, and I think that's what we're trying to prevent later on, because when like kids my age become those parents, they're gonna be like, don't be on your phone, or I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Well, like no, like let's say, has that ever happened to you when someone's like telling you to embody a certain thing, and you're like, well, that person is.
Well, you don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
think so. No.
Not
that I remember.
Would you respect that person?
Probably not, because like you're telling me to do something, but you don't practice that. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Exactly. So that's why I think there's a lack of positive male role models. The things that make us healthy and the things that make us successful, like being physically fit, being healthy, being in shape, having energy, not overusing social media, not using drugs and alcohol, like not using it in a way that's destructive. All these things, a parent can't tell this kid those things if he's doing them too.
Yeah.
So one of the things we're trying to do with A Player is be the example. Show them how it's done.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. We're an example of it. If I'm telling you that if you want to be successful, you need to be fit, because not to look good, but to feel good, and people are going to respect you more. People are going to receive you more differently. Then I can back it up because I'm also that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're going to provide.
I think it's like a quote or something. You practice what you. It's like I'm missing a word, but
You practice what you preach.
yeah.
Practice what you preach. Walk the talk. Like what I say, I also do. Yeah. So I know I've talked a lot, but like I don't know if you have any more questions or.
I have a couple. So, dealing with like backlash, hate, doubt, failure, because there's gonna be people. I mean, in anything. People are gonna start. Oh gosh, people are gonna start. You know, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's saying. Like he's full of shit.
Yeah, that's gonna happen for sure, and we'll just deal with it when it comes. That's the important. But that's why it's important to have a community, because if that happens to us, if I was doing it by myself, let's say I was doing this all by myself, it would be a lot easier for that negative and doubt to kick in and to cause me to stop.
Yeah.
But now you're part of it. Now we have a whole team that's supporting it. It can't stop us. Like, what do you think is going to happen if I tell Mark, hey, Mark, I put this video out and people told me that I'm a stupid loser and that my forehead's too big?
I would assume that he would say not to listen to him. I mean, obviously don't listen to him. But like also, like if they're hating so much, what are they doing about their lives to change themselves and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if there's haters. So Mark, our friend, which you'll meet at some point, we'll have him on the podcast. He gets a ton of hate. Tons of hate because of the problem we're trying to help in that side with alcohol. So we get a lot of hate, and this is one thing I learned from him is like, dude, he just doesn't care because the company's made probably over $20 million.
Yeah, there is proof behind. You guys have like it's proven that what you guys are doing works. So how could you get hate from something that works? You know what I mean?
People are still gonna hate.
Yeah, I know.
But also, even if there is hate, like, dude, who cares? Like, we're all like financially free from because of it. You know what I mean? Like, we're in this office because
of the risks that you guys were willing to take.
Yeah, we have all this nice equipment. Like, all this here, you know, where I live now, you know, like,
yeah,
it's all because of where he lives. You've been to his house, right? it's nice stuff. These are expensive things, and I'm not here to like brag about the money. The point I'm trying to make is there's haters. Sure, they can hate all they want, but we're still doing better than the haters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think the hate is going to matter when we're helping a lot of people. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna ask you what makes A Player different, but I think we've already kind of talked about it. One, it's you who you're 34, right? And then it's me, an 18. So an 18-year-old. So now we have like
Different perspectives.
different perspectives on age. And then how many more companies out there are willing to work with younger people, trying to focus on them, like to help them focus on themselves? I haven't seen any that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
I think it's starting to become popular
Oh,
because
it is?
they understand that that's the next generation.
Yeah, like this is our future.
That's the next generation. So it's starting to happen. I think we're probably going to be one of the first few in the market. But also what makes us unique is our individual stories, our individual backgrounds. So like we're both Hispanic, and we have our stories are different, like than maybe white Americans or African Americans. So we can appeal to a certain market just based on how we came up. So
And
there's a story that I want to tell, and actually I'll tell it right now. Is part of the reason I'm very driven, or I have been driven. There's many reasons, but one of them is, so my mom immigrated to this country, risked her life. So she came over to the U.S. She crossed the border through the desert while she was pregnant with me. So she literally risked her life while she was pregnant with me, came to L.A. just so I could have a better life. And so I think it'd be such a waste of an opportunity if I didn't do what I could to become the best possible person on this planet.
Yeah.
Like, she risked her life. Like, I don't know how else to put it into words, because I see so many Latinos or Mexican Americans, right? Their parents immigrated to this country. They risked their life for you to have a better life.
And you're not doing
anything. Not doing anything. You're just repeating the same habits. And I understand that it's because habits are passed down or whatever, cultural norms and shit. But you have a choice. I could have chosen to be drinking beers every weekend and eating carnitas every weekend, and like putting on the pounds.
Yeah.
I could have chosen to be that, but I chose not to, because I didn't think that me doing what everybody else is doing would have made me the best person. And I know I'm gonna get shit for this, because I'm gonna talk shit about the Mexican culture, especially in the US. I think a lot of the habits are destructive. I think they're unhealthy, and I don't think they're helping the community. And I want them to know, because there's other ways. When I graduated high school, I used to think that because I was Mexican, that my only option was to work in a factory. I literally believed that.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
That was literally what I believed, that's what I was supposed to do. And I did. I graduated and I worked in a factory in Delavan called Bonded Fibers. I worked there for a year.
Hated it.
And after a year, I was like, dude, I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
My mom didn't. And I remember my mom actually telling me, like, to go to college. And I was like, no, Mom, I don't, like, that's not for me. That's not for me. Somewhere I had this realization that she was right. Like, I felt like I was letting her down. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, she came here so I could have a better life, and I'm not taking it. And so that lit a fire under me, and part of the reason I went to college. And I'm not saying college is like the end all be all, but it helped me at the time break from what I thought was what was meant for me. And it allowed me to just see a different world, different people, different mindsets. So it helped me break out of who I thought I was only supposed to be, which obviously is far from the truth.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think that college or like college isn't for like Hispanics or whatever. Like I don't think that norm exists anymore. At least I haven't.
Now it's common.
Yeah. Now it's common.
Yeah, it's common to go to college, but at that time for me, that's what I believed, and it kept me in a box.
Sorry.
And so if I wouldn't have broken free from that box, I would still probably still working in a factory, and I felt like that would have not been good enough.
Yeah, and I think like that's the problem. Like some people, like they might be in the same position that you were. Like I'm not supposed to be here, but I don't have the drive, or maybe I don't have the opportunities, or they think they don't have the opportunities to do it, to like go beyond, or just like just the drive, the motivation. Or they think they don't have the opportunities. And that's what A Players is there for, to help, to find kind of like help you with the opportunities.
Yeah, help you find the motivation, the opportunities. I think as we'll dive into the program and as you'll learn as you go, but you can create motivation. You can
From yourself.
Yeah, you can create motivation. You can create reasons to want to pursue a different life. You can there's a lot of ways that I've done it. Being part of a community is one, because you see what other people are doing, you see other people getting results, and you're like, well, I want to do that too.
Exactly.
Or if he can do it,
why can't I?
Why can't I? And it helps when you see someone else that kind of looks like you. That's why I'm not saying we're gonna target the Latino community. They might not like us, but I have a feeling we might appeal to that community. And when they see like, oh, these two guys look just like me, maybe they might resonate. They might be like, oh, well, if these guys can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So what? Question for you, like, where do you see this going?
I was gonna ask you the exact same question. Like, where do you want to see it in the next couple of months, years, yada yada yada? But for right now, like we've talked, like where do we want to see it? I'm just looking at it until like December, like until from September to 2025, start of 2025. Where do I want to see it? Well, obviously I want to see it grow.
Yeah.
I want to make money off of it, and I want people to like not recognize me, but like be like, yo, you're the guy. A player, like you are doing like a good job of helping these young men, women, whatever. That's where I want to see it.
Yeah, I think the goal for the next till December is one, we're gonna get the app launched, which actually today.
Can you actually talk about a little bit more about like the app itself?
Yeah, so A Player is gonna be primarily hosted through an app. In the app is where you're going to be able to interact with us, interact with other A players. It's going to have somewhat of a community chat feature. It's also where you're going to be able to watch the modules. So we're going to have training lessons, modules about different topics. And as we grow, we're going to hear what the students want to hear about, and we're going to make videos on that. It could be things to diet, fitness, fashion, dating. I'm not sure exactly. I have an idea of what they're going to want to know, but we'll know better as they go. And then also, if we have any kind of special guests, or if we have any other influencers or coaches in the online space that we interview, that's where we're going to share content, exclusive content just for the members. We're also going to gamify the program. So what that means is you're going to be rewarded for actually improving your life. So every month there's going to be a winner, and whether we're giving away iPhones, laptops,
This shirt with the name on your back.
Yeah. So custom shirt, this A-player shirt that you can only get if you earn it with your name on the back. Yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of different fun giveaways so that you're incentivized to play at your own life, essentially. I know that your age group loves video games, right? So we're gonna take the video game concept into the training program so that instead of playing online, you're actually playing in real life.
Yeah.
And it's helping you actually get results. So what do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea.
To just finish off here, I think we're coming on, 30 minutes. So where I see this going is we're gonna launch the app. We're gonna give free access to about 25 people for free just to become members, and then we're gonna start selling it. It's gonna become a paid group. I'm excited. We have the support of Mark and the rest of the team. The whole team's already talking to me about it, and so we got to do it now. There's no
other option.
There's no break. we can't stop it.
Yeah.
And Mark has some big goals for us. He says he wants us to make. He wants us to enroll, I think, about 1,000 people in the year of next year. So if we do that, the company will make about a little bit over $1 million, which is a lot of money.
But, it's a lot of money.
We've done it before with I Am a Comeback, so I don't see why we can't do it with A-Player. And so not only are we gonna, grow the brand, grow the company, make money, we're gonna help people. We're also gonna be able to give jobs to other A-players, because the goal is to hire from within our own members. And so the goal is to impact people individually, but also impact community-wise. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, if
we are changing the community, at least we're trying to.
Yeah, because if we hire somebody and they earn a good living, then they can take that back to their family, provide them with a better
And so I feel like one thing that people might ask is like, oh, well, how do you find the right people to join your thing, to join A-Player? Well, it's not that we're trying to find the right people, it's that we're trying to build the right people.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. And the people that want to be built are going to resonate. They're going to watch our videos, and they're going to be like, I like what these guys are saying. I resonate with what they're saying. And then when they do, they're going to want to join, and then that's it.
You guys for watching.
Peace.